Working on this Reef Blue coupe today. I've already started putting the aprons and the strut tower smooth panels in from Scott Rod Fabs. Got this one pretty much finished up and ready to start the body work to it. Just got done tack welding the bottom frame rail slick panel in this side. Next I'll be doing the body work and getting it ready to paint. Painting the engine bay on this car and a Keenan hood. I think he's going with a 2 or 2.5 inch. Everything's looking pretty slick on it. Tomorrow I'll sand the primer, and now I got a Buick that I'm probably gonna pull in the other garage and start on it. As you can see, I've already got primer on the engine bay here. I got it sanded down. I'm gonna put another coat of primer, get it all a little bit smoother and finished up. And also working on a Kia front bumper. Got it ready for primer. Had a few bad spots in it, but I want to primer it at the same time. And that's what's going on for today. And I'll be getting on this hatch pretty soon. This here, I've got it already painted, and I've got the suspension back under it. Everything that was in it when he brought it to me is put back on it. After I got done doing the engine bay, he decided to have me fix the couple dents in the door. He's also got a hood that he wants me to paint that hasn't came in yet, so waiting on it, and I'll update when I get paint on this thing. Right now I just got done putting the primer, so the next day or so I'll have paint on it. My next one that I'm starting on is this hatch here. It looks like it used to be a original Calypso green, and this car here was brought to me just as you see it. Front bumper is over there. He's got a Team ZK member, probably be putting it in. This car here is at another shop, was having some work done, and I'm not going to get into why it's here, but as you can see, the shop didn't get it finished, and it's been brought to me, and I'll show you things that I find that I don't like when I do a paint job, body work wise and everything. Starting off, my first thing that I'm going to be addressing is somebody jacked up the rocker panel. I don't know if maybe it fell on a jack stand or they tried to jack it up there. I don't have any fancy frame machine or tools or anything to pull downward on it. I have an idea that I'm going to try to get it to pull down, and if you're seeing this part of the video, then you'll see if it works. If you don't see this part of the video, then it didn't work because I wasn't going to show you. Yeah, but after I get that done, I'm going to address these door gaps in the driver's side. I mean, it's horrible. Somebody's put this quarter panel in, and it's just awful. So I'll be addressing that after, and then from there, whatever I find, I'll show, and finishing this car and getting some paint on it, making it look good. This is so weird, trying to record what I'm doing, trying to explain what I'm doing to myself and to a phone. It's just weird. So here's my contraption that I've made. That it's got it pretty well pulled out. What I did is my little pulling block there, I welded it to the low spot of the dent, or in this case high spot I guess you call it, and then attached the chain to it, ran the chain under a piece of channel, attached the chain back to the pulling block, and then I used the jacks to basically jack the car up and keep, as I was pulling the car up, it pulls the dent down, and it worked out pretty well. I mean, it pretty much pulled it flush. I got just a couple more low spots to get out, but that worked out pretty well. Alright, I'm going to cut the spot welds off of this and check to see if I need to pull it a little bit more. But other than that, that's going to work. Okay, it's another day and I'm starting back on this Calypso LX hatch car, and I'm going to start adjusting this driver's door to the quarter panel that looks like it's been replaced. I'm going to flip the camera around and show you what I'm working with. Here's how it came in here looking like. You can see just how far down the door is, and I know the jamb of the quarter, it's got something going on the edge of it, but I won't know exactly what until I get the door up and see how the gap looks once the body lines match. I imagine they just threw the door on maybe to get it out of the other shop. I'm not sure, but I'm going to do a little bit of adjusting and see where I can get it. Okay, I've went up a little bit on the door, used the jack and jacked it up and loosened my bolts up and got the back end of the door up. As you can see down here, the body lines at the bottom are really close. Up here at the top, the door looks to be a little bit higher than the quarter. I'll explain this a little bit later. This is all has to do with this quarter being put in, I think. It's really tight right here, and ugly right here. And maybe I can split the difference of this body line and this body line up here to make it look a little bit better. I'll sit the camera down and adjust that and see where we can get. Okay, I was getting lost with the body lines with it being white, so I sprayed some black on just so I could help see the body lines. Look at what they have done with that quarter, and they've got the body line on the quarter just, I really don't know how they even did that. And you can see that this down here is pretty much where it needs to be, as far as, you know, the body lines here that you can't really move or manipulate. They're stuck. They're where they have to be at. And then you move up here, and this body line here with the door goes to the quarter that they put in, and man, they just jacked that all up. I'm gonna have to do some blocking to get that to match up, and plus the gap that they got going on right there, and then it's kind of like pushed this way inside the jamb, the quarter is, so the edge of the quarter, the roll isn't the same throughout here. I'm gonna have to work that some to get the gap right, and the same with down here at the bottom. The quarter is closer to the door that way. It's going to take quite a bit of work. And another thing that I don't like is that it is the A-pillar is overlapping the door here, and then as you go up, it gets the gap in it. you go over to the other side, sorry about that. That's how it should be. That's how the gap should look. And I've had to go so far forward on the driver's side to get the gap right back here, which the pins, door bushings are bad on this door here, so it's got quite a bit of movement in it. You can look. But I mean, that's about how the gap should look as far as uniform. That's how the driver's side should look, but it's just not. I can't take the driver's side door back because it's going to get into the quarter. So I'm not sure what I'm going to end up having to do with this here being that tight. I've started blocking this to see where I'm at and what I'm dealing with, and turned out that the body line was just formed wrong with Bondo. All this that you can see that's bare metal, that's high spots. Now this is supposed to be a new quarter. What it looks like they did is it looks like they cut the quarter at the body line. You can see up in there. Cut it at the body line and then welded it in instead of putting a full quarter that goes all the way up to where the factory lead seam is. Instead of doing that, looks like they seamed it right here too, which I don't understand. If it's seamed here but the original quarter is still down here, maybe that was from somewhere else, I don't know. But where they put it together at the body line, that's why there's so much Bondo in it. They're basically forming the body line back, and it's all right out through here, it looks, but once you start going out through there, the body line starts disappearing. So it feels like a smooth roll here instead of a crisp body line like it's supposed to be. It kind of disappears right through here, and then it really gets bad out through here, which I'm going to need to block more out through here because it looks like this is way too high with Bondo, and just feeling it is. But all like this here shows a low spot. This is low. This is Bondo all through here. It's high metal. It's all high spots out through here. I just fixed a car, 93 Cobra, that had this same issue. They built the edge of the quarter back with Bondo instead of metal for whatever reason. I'm going to have to get a tail light and the back bumper and put them up to make sure this fits, because it's you can see this is high and the very edge of the quarter is low, so it rolls in, so it's not going to fit up to the tail light right. So we'll be working that also. But the body line's looking a little bit better. I wanted to video this before I started blocking the top, to see how, if there's much Bondo up there, and see what the body line does once that's blocked. But the gap is going to need a lot of massaging to get it right. You can see this is low. The quarter is actually pushed into the jamb out, and it's low on the outside of it. So this needs to be hammered in to push the quarter back out where it needs to be. And the bottom is just a mess. That's all high spots and low spots. Bondo down there. Now I'm going to block a little bit more and massage this jamb some to try and get it fit a little bit better. Well, I think I got the gap best I can do. it needed a lot of work. I actually cut the quarter panel loose where they had it welded in, and had to move it out a little bit and back, and adjusted the door. But the gaps on it, I mean, they're not perfect, but it's best I can do with what I got here. Just with the way this quarter panel has been put in, it was really rough to try and get the door to match and the quarter panel to match, but it looks a lot better than it did. This this quarter is just full of mud. I mean, it looks like what they did is they replaced the bottom half of the quarter panel and they welded it in at the body line. Well, the body line looks like it stayed pretty well where it's supposed to be up through here, but when it got back to the back, I don't know what happened, but it just disappeared. And it's a hard telling when this Bondo was put in because it's over top of the Calypso color, but that Bondo is under the Calypso color. And then it looks like quarter was welded at one point up here too. So I'm not sure if this quarter's been replaced twice or what, but either way, it's going to take a good bit of work to get the body line back. Really, the whole quarter panel from the top down needs to be replaced. That's how I'd want my car, but on this, I'm doing what I can with what I got. So there's a lot of high places that need to be knocked down. If I knock them down, then that takes away from the mud that I have to put in the car. So the least Bondo I can get by with is what I want. But I did get the door jamb looking pretty good. I can work with that. But I've looked around in the car, and it seems like this is going to be the worst part of it. If I get this knocked out, the rest of it shouldn't be too bad. But I'll pick the video back up on next time I go to knocking the high places down and working that back section, and see what I can make of it. But that'll do it for now. Well, from the title of the video, you can tell that I've quit my job, my day job. I used to do paint and body work on semi trucks. I guess for the last 10 years I've been doing that. It just got old. Working for somebody got old, dealing with just, well, you probably know, if you have a regular day job, and you work there quite a few years, same routine just gets old. Well, I've quit for about going on a month now, and I've always worked on cars, painting cars, and mostly Mustangs, in the evenings, weekends, stuff like that. Well, beginning of this year, started my business, TJ Fab. Well, it's been about a month now. I've went on my own full-time here at the shop. I want to start doing this YouTube stuff, see where it goes. It feels real awkward talking to myself. It's really weird. But I want to see where it goes. I'm just going to show you basically before, during, after of stuff that I do in the shop. As you can see behind me, covered up is my 2003 Cobra. It's covered up because if I look at it with the cover off of it, I want to do something to it. Right now I got the engine out of it. I need to have it freshened up. I really don't want to fool with it right now. I'm concentrating on the shop, But later on the channel, it will come on the channel as far as me doing updates and putting the engine back in. But I do have this coupe car here that I bought. I actually owned it before the Cobra, and started working on it, and then I bought the Cobra and put all my money in that car, and the coupe's just sat here. So it's been bugging me on getting the coupe at least where I can start it up and hear it run. Well, videos coming up, I'm gonna show me basically putting the drivetrain in it, everything that I plan on wanting to do with the car. I'll take you through steps on what I'm doing to it, and maybe eventually get out there and drive it around and race it a little bit and see what happens.